Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Demetra, Demetra litALLday channel. And before I get started, before I even begin, let me start off first and foremost by doing what I always do, and that's thanking you guys in advance for doing all of the right things. What's the right things, Demetra? I'm so glad you asked. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, Lit Lane, I hope you guys are ready for this exclusive interview with Charleston White. You guys may remember him. If you don't remember, I'm going to remind you. Now, you might ask yourself, why you want this interview? Ain't he supposed to be a snitch? Or is he? It's up for us to see, for him to let us know he's waiting backstage. He will be coming to the show. But I want to get started first by telling you guys thank you. Hello, Dwayne Williams. Hello, Lit Lane Pit Crew. Hello, Real Mamas, Real Problems. All right, y'all, Lit Lane Pit Crew. Hey, Miss Manny, my moderators for this show. We want to make sure that we keeping everything very contained. Everybody's able and open to their own ideas and opinions, but we gonna keep it respectful because some of this conversation does deal with gangs type stuff. I would absolutely like us to keep the gang names and all that specific stuff out of the conversation, and let's just talk in general basis. The show is a lot about a whole lot more, and there'll be so many more topics I think we could talk about. Okay. Again, I'm Demetra litALLday, and let's get started. Mr. White, I'll be back there. I'll be bringing you on in just one moment. I want to show you guys the clip that went viral on World Star Hip Hop and on Instagram that we're talking about today. Bear with me. I'm going to share this video with you guys. And we will have a question and answer a little bit later on in the interview time.
Crips threatening me, man. Some big old fat dude named Fat Boy Clone. Fat Boy. Yeah, so I came up here to tell on the Harvest Street Crips. That they're the ones responsible for the violence over there on the south side. The little kids, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old ago. They the ones that I can't speak on the Crips and Blood. So they come to my live video threatening me, telling me what I can't say. And all of a sudden they start typing threats. Well, yeah, bitch ass nigga, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna see you. So that nigga told me he don't care about me going to the laws. He coming to get me. That nigga tried to call me this morning. Hey, man, nigga, I better go to the police. Last time a nigga done me like this here, and I tried to responded, I ended up in jail with a felony, man, with an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, man. And so the best thing to do, I'm going to go notify the police. How is it that as a community activist, I done went down to City Hall and I done addressed the mayor and everybody about the violence. I'm on social media talking to my people about the violence, and all of a sudden here come the Crips and Bloods, guys like Vidal and Lil Eve and them. They want to come to Truman Street Bloods in the 43rd Harvest Street Gangster Crips coming and tell me what I can and what I can't speak on, and they the ones causing the violence. They the ones getting them kids the guns. Harvest Street Crips is the one with all that hair on that's being sold over there on the house side. They got dope houses and got that fentanyl over there, man. If the feds want to get in the good bus, nigga, Harvest Street Crips is where the best bus the feds can find. They got fentanyl over there, man. Y'all know how dangerous fentanyl is. And they said I can't speak out about it. Well, the police suggested, recommended I stay from down at the classic lady. So that's what I'm gonna do until we can get these Harvest Street Crips off the streets. Making them threats on the nigga night, man, scaring me. That does, nigga. Yeah, nigga, I'm scared to.
All right. So there we go. Let me stop it really quickly. One moment. Push pause.
Like they the biggest and the baddest. I know what's a bad motherfucker.
All right. That's what all the hype about, you know what I'm saying? What do you guys think so far? What do y'all think? Real quickly, for me, I thought at first, damn, is this nigga snitching? That was my first thought, I ain't gonna lie. But then I listened, I found the full video, I kind of started thinking, Makes sense to me. Okay. And so that's what we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take you guys' opinions, but let's hear from the man himself, Mr. Charleston White. I hope you're ready, sir. I'm gonna bring you on. Okay, you're not ready yet? Hold
Yeah,
on.
hold on. Yeah, I'm ready. Come on with it.
All right, introducing
Yeah,
Mr.
man, I stay
Charleston
ready.
White, aka known as Cat, or what they call you, Snitch, what they call you, Rat
Red
Williams.
Williams. Yeah, Red Williams. And I like that name. Whoever thought of that name and gave me that name, high five to you, nigga. I'm gonna get money out of it. You should have branded it.
So tell us a little bit. Well, not don't tell us a little bit about ourselves. Tell me a little bit about that recording, that going viral. You know what happened? Are you in danger right now? And are you a snitch? Bottom line.
Oh, oh. Well, what happened that day, man? I was doing a video, talking about all the violence that's been taking place in our city. It's been a lot of youth violence. Uh, if you guys remember, there was a lady by the name of Tatiana Jefferson. She was up late one night playing video games with her nephew, with her 9-year-old nephew. The neighbor across the street called the police to go do a wellness check. Well, when the police went over there, he shot through the window and killed her, right? Uh, when that happened, man, everybody came out, man. It was thousands of people. They came to city council. Man, it was every news station. I'm talking about, it was the Black Lives Matter chant, no justice, no peace. They did that for about maybe maybe a week.
Right.
And everybody went back to normal, right? And so by me being active in the community and working with children, working with the kids in the juvenile system, working with their parents when they get in trouble, right? I feel some kind of way. Man, that here it is, every time the police kill one of us, we'll storm the building, but we'll watch each other kill each other. We'll watch kids kill kids. And so there was a 16-year-old kid, man, his body was found outside of abandoned building, and his body was riddled with bullets. Well, when they done the news story on the kid, man, the kid was homeless and everybody was playing sad. And when they got ready to bury this kid, they had to get clothes out of the lost and found. And so here it is, man. We got all these churches in our communities. We got all these gangs. We got all these motorcycle clubs. We got all these fraternities. We got all these sororities. But nobody addresses the real pain of our communities, right? So I'm talking about this on a live one day. Everybody in this city know me. They know if you get on my live and you go to talking knowing, man, I'm gonna eat your ass up because I have I have a verbal assassin mouth. So this big fat dude named Fat Boy Clone, he ain't no real gangster nigga. He ain't no street nigga, right? So he get on my live, him and some more of his little buddies, and these niggas in their mid-30s, right? Sitting in the middle of the day. So rather than listening to me talk, they get on there with the Crip shit, yeah, cuz, and so, man, you don't bring that shit to my live. So if you get on my live spelling something BACC rather than BACK, and you come to my nigga, then I'm gonna stop what I'm saying and I'm gonna address that shit. And I'm gonna call you a crab ass nigga. I'm gonna call you a slob ass nigga. So they get offended just by watching me. So keep in mind, I ain't Facebook friends with these niggas. So that means they have to come out my way to come watch me. So I don't sell drugs. I don't break law. I'm a election judge. I'm the one that turn in the votes to the county every election. I'm elected as a precinct chair. I'm a PTA dad. I'm married with 2 kids, been in my children's lives since day one. I hadn't been to prison since I got out of the juvenile system. I'm very active in the community. I run a youth organization. So if a gang member come to me and say, man, I'm gonna do this to you, well, I know where you at. Drop your address, pull up. Well, rather than me doing like most dumb niggas do, let a nigga trick me. Now here it is. I'm on this side of the street. I'm on this side of the law. I pay taxes. I vote. I'm on this side. Why would I let a nigga who over on that side who don't have nothing to lose pull me over to his side and I operate by his rules? Where over on that side, the rules, he lose and I lose. But if I stay on this side where the logical, sensible, law-abiding people do, nigga, if you threaten me, I have my license to carry. I have my license to carry. Well, people say, well, man, how he get his license and he killed somebody? Well, I committed a murder back in 1991. Back when the juvenile laws, I'm the first generation of children in the state of Texas, as well as the first generation of children in America who began to commit these crimes.
And you know what? I don't, not to cut you off, but I do want to go into more of your background story, how you became or how you got to where your stance is at and how you became an activist, especially with juvenile crimes and juvenile delinquency. But what I want to do first, real quickly, is I want to ask you this. How do you feel right now? Obviously, you still going live, you still doing interviews.
Before let me finish about the snitch, right? So
okay,
as a law-abiding citizen, as a father, and you threaten me. So what they teach you, what most niggas don't know, that they teach white people because they don't take the license to carry class and they don't take the CHL class. So if you're a gang member and you're a known gang member and you threaten somebody and you threaten their life, they have the right to operate under that George Zimmerman thing, stand your ground. You can't be a known gang member and you threaten somebody and your gang have a history. So when you get on the live and you selling all that tough guy shit, yeah, nigga, I trap off the phone. Nigga, where that come from? You snitching on yourself, nigga. Man, I don't know nothing about you trapping off the phone. Who this Harvey Street Crips? Nigga, we ain't never even heard of no Harvey Street Crip. Nigga, who is you, nigga? So once I started doing my research on these niggas is clowns. So I got buddies that's gang unit. So guess what, man? Rather than me letting the nigga trick me, man, let me go let these people know these reports. So just in case I gotta kill one of these niggas, I don't get indicted by the grand jury. I don't have to spend no unnecessary bond money because we got documented threats. We've all watched enough First 48. Right. We've all watched enough First 48 where we know when these big bad niggas go to threatening you and they making these threats. And when the white folks pull their record, he a gang member, he a drug dealer. So when I went there and told them what all they did, I don't know what them niggas did, but I know I know my gang unit buddies would like to hear that. Right. I don't know what them niggas sell. I don't know what they do, but since you want to threaten my life. So guess what that did? His Harvey Street buddies went back and told that nigga, say, homie, why y'all fucking with that nigga? It put the pressure back on the OG nigga and said, say, homie, that nigga ain't bothering nobody. Why y'all fucking with him? Y'all leave that man alone, nigga. So now they in trouble. Nigga, y'all done brought this heat to us. Everybody know he a community activist, nigga. Why y'all fucking with him? Why y'all on Facebook fucking with that nigga? Get off Facebook, gangster niggas. The gangster niggas in the streets. So when you on Facebook trying to sell that shit, you trying to sell it, and then I buy it and get scared. I'm wrong because you done scared me. Right. Nigga, I bought it. You were selling it to me. Right. Right. So I didn't run and call. Listen, I didn't run and call my niggas. I know about the big bad niggas in our communities. They'll shoot up our grandmama houses. They'll whoop our women. They'll stomp on their baby mamas. They'll whoop any nigga in the neighborhood. But when that white boy in that uniform come up and say, freeze, motherfucker, put your hands up, them niggas go peacefully. So if you bad, I ain't no bad motherfucker. I'm gonna go get some bad motherfuckers that I know you scared of if you a bad motherfucker. Now, if you ain't no bad motherfucker, I'm gonna clown you all day long on Facebook. But if you one of them bad motherfuckers, and you belong in the streets and you on Facebook bothering us social media people, I'm going to go get the real bad motherfuckers, nigga. Okay. And so guess what? So no, you're not a snitch, but you a law-abiding citizen who took your threat for real. Say, let me educate my people right quick. Do y'all remember in Florida when that man walked out the store and he saw this white man at the car window talking crazy to his wife, and he pushed that white man, and when that white man hit the ground, he grabbed a gun and shot that man? See, we be saying, man, how can they do us? And say, man, y'all, even if you can't get your license to carry, go take the class, and they can kill us and get away with it. You can ask questions in the class like this. Well, what if my neighbor do this? And they tell you how to kill and get away with it when you get your license to carry. These niggas walking around in their feelings of what I'm saying. Right. I'm walking around operating off what I know under the law. I'm
Right.
willing to be a hoe ass nigga to stay out here to be a father. I'm willing to be a bitch ass nigga. I'm willing to be called whatever I have to be called so my kids can call daddy.
Right.
See, most of these niggas uphold these street personas and those street codes and those street ethics, but they don't hold up the responsibilities of a father. So if I got to go tell the police, man, somebody threatening me, so I ain't got to get tricked into the penitentiary so I can keep taking my babies to school, man, I'm gonna do that.
Right. Now let's get into this. Now I know you was alluding to, and I know that you're a community activist, and I know with my little research, I want to get into where you was leading to me before, like with your growing up and how you got into or influenced by gangs, crime, and what made the transformation. If you want to take me through that now, I would love to hear it. Like, how did you become
I do it now.
affiliated with gangs at 14 or so? Excuse me.
Man, I grew up in a traditional African American single parent home. Just mama. Me, my mom, and my brother. My mom had my brother at 15, had me at 17. Mom was very ambitious. Mom worked her way out of the ghetto. So we went from like rags to riches. By the time I was 6 years old, man, my mom had left Fort Worth and took us out to the suburbs, to all white suburbs. So we was living, I had my own phone line in the early 80s. I had my own room. That was unheard of. We had all the name brand clothes. My mother landed a job at General Motors in the early 80s. Very hard working. I grew up in a very loving, nurturing, a God-fearing mother who tried to instill good morals and good values. I've never been spanked by a man. I've never been disciplined by a man. I've never been hugged by a man. My mother had boyfriends, but I've never seen a man come out my mother's boyfriend. I don't know if them niggas were climbing out the window after they got that pussy or what. But mama didn't let her two boys see them niggas come out the bedroom. When I got out of school, my mother was going to work. She would have dinner prepared. She would kiss us, say, hey, leave your homework out. When I get home work, we knew what time she took her breaks. So one of us knew to be home to call. So I grew up with no parental supervision because mother had, back then it was a stigma for single mothers, black mothers. There was no help for single mothers in them 80s, man. So my mother was on my granddaddy was in prison, was a pimp. My other auntie lost her. So my mother was the backbone of the family. So here it is, she working. Every man in my family, my friends' houses from elementary school up as far as I can think of, their dad was in prison. Their brothers was going to prison. Their uncles was coming home from prison. When I put on my headphones and my young and impressionable mind, here come gangster rap. The rap music, it propagated what I saw in my family, all the men going to prison, what I saw in my culture, when I spent a night at my buddies' houses, they family members in prison. Then when I looked out in the community, niggas coming home from prison, the community throw big party for these niggas. The community throw big party for these niggas, right? So then at the graduation parties, when they have the graduation parties don't look shit like the prison parties. So as a kid, as a young kid with a young, impressionable mind, not having no positive male influence, you see it in your family, you see it at your friend's house, you see it in your community, you see it in your culture, and then it's solidified and propagated on the television through the rap videos and through the rap music. So in your young and impressionable mind, I grew up believing that going to prison was a part of being a black man.
Wow.
When my uncles got out of prison, I used to ask the prison story. Well, what was it like? I watched so many men go to prison growing up, and I never heard nor saw anybody come back from prison and say anything bad about prison. They tell all the big bravado prison stories about this and about that. So as a young dude, man, I want to be a man. So that badge of honor that comes with going to prison is what many young boys get we get our manhood from that.
Right.
So here it is. Here it is. Mama saying share. Man, if I go outside and share my marbles with these niggas, they ain't gonna give them back. So all the things that mama told me to do, it don't work out here amongst boys. So I got to try to figure out to do how to survive out here with these boys. Mama can't tell me nothing on how to survive out here off this porch, away from mama with these boys. So I'm saying, yeah, mama, I hear what you saying, mama, but I see Uncle Wayne. I see Uncle Curtis. I see Jeffrey. I see Naki. I see Uncle Boosie. I see all these negative men. I heard what you saying, mama. So what mama's saying is falling on deaf ear because I can't relate to what mama is saying. She's speaking from a woman's standpoint. I need to see a man, mama. And I ain't never seen now. I ain't never seen a man get up and go to work. I seen mama get up and go to work. I seen Aunt Nay get up and go to work. I seen grandmama get up and go to work. All I seen in the black community is women get up and go to work. So guess what? I grew up believing that man didn't work. I grew up believing that women work and the man stayed back at the house. So guess what? I'm a 42-year-old man with no work ethic. That's why I learned to pimp. My mama taught me how to be good with women because mama was good to me. I know how to play on mama to get money out of mama. So how you think I know how to play on women? I had a good mama to play on. Like most little boys, learn how to play on mama.
Absolutely.
Mama make us sorry because mama don't expose us to no man. Don't no man get to breathe life into us. So I had an older brother. He started getting in trouble. Well, he the closest thing to my father. So guess what? I'm gonna follow in big brother footsteps. So he started going to the youth facilities, to the youth prisons. So I got to fly under the radar because mama was, he causing mama all the trouble. He causing mama all the trouble. So September 18, 1991, I became one of the first children, man, in Fort Worth, Texas, to commit a crime and murder and be arrested for it. During that era, during those first 90s, I'm gonna detour right quick, right? Let me start my car up right quick. I was over at my homeboy in them house and he had his kids in there.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Let me just say this. Thank you, everybody who's joining us in this live. I have on live right now Mr. Charleston White, aka, as some like to say, Rat Williams. Now that's what they say.
I love that name, man. Shit, I embrace that name. I love Rat Williams. Shit, I'm trying to get a contract with the police, Crime Stoppers, let them use my face and all that money. So I'm gonna step outside, man. Since they say I'm all high, and I'm right in the hood. I'm right in the hood, man. I'm in the Crip neighborhood. So they love me in my city, man.
You want to turn you off for a moment, or you want me to what?
No, man. They love me in this city. Turn me off for what?
Okay, I didn't know.
No, man. Turn me off for what?
No,
but so listen, check this out, right? So in 1990, man, Hillary Clinton, before Bill Clinton became president, or right around the time he became president, Hillary Clinton made a statement. She made a statement to America. She said that black children, that there was going to be a wave of black children be born and that we was going to be super predators. She said that we was going to be bigger, that we was going to be faster, that we was going to be stronger, that we was going to be heartless criminals, and that we was going to be incorrigible. And incorrigible means that people can't change, that we wasn't going to be able to change. When she made that statement, it sent a shock wave of fear through the United States of America. And that's how Bill Clinton came about with all the minimum sentencing guide laws and the 3 strikes minimum. That's why the Democratic Black Caucus voted for the 3 strikes. That's where the tough on crime came from, right? So she made that statement. I was in that group of children that she was talking about. Prior to the late 80s, early 90s, children in America wasn't committing crimes like capital murder. So I fell in that first group of children, man. And so me and 3 of my buddies, man, I'm just, Confucius once said, he who controls images can control minds. So you think about 88, 89, we got NWA. NWA was a phenomenon. It was a cultural phenomenon.
My first rap group, my first dirty rap songs, my first gangster rap, NWA.
So we listening. So we went from listening to songs like, hey, we want some pussy. Hey, we want some pussy. And then to parents just don't understand, to all of a sudden fuck the police. And then we get, as young people, we get saturated with violent lyrics and violent images, not just about murder. They talked about raping, beating up women. I'm talking about men. And so here we are children at home without our mothers. Mama and them gone, and ain't nobody in here to say, man, what the fuck y'all listening to? Man, cut that shit out. Man, what the fuck? Ain't there's nobody there to govern us. So man, we soaking up all this shit. So then I see Uncle Wayne now. Well, Uncle Wayne, Uncle Curtis, they look just like the niggas on the video. So children mimic what they see and repeat what they hear. So I'm mimicking things. I got a great home life. Mama done provided a great home life, but man, I'm being exposed to all the negative males. I ain't seeing no doctors. I ain't seeing no hardworking men. I ain't seeing none of that. So I'm mimicking. So when I'm out in the community amongst my friends with a young, undeveloped brain and a young mind, man, I ain't making logical decisions. I'm influenced by what I done been exposed to. Stealing, packing guns, breaking into houses, running train on little girls, raping. All little boys done that shit, listening to them stupid ass rappers. So here it is, nigga catch a murder case at 14. I remember the night we got arrested. I remember the police being happy, man. I remember them white people celebrating and was excited, man. And I remember in school they taught you capital murder was the death penalty. But as a kid, you don't know they can't give it to a kid. So when them motherfuckers arrested us, and he said, yeah, Mr. White, your mama's gonna be proud of you now. You being charged with capital murder. Man, my little heart sunk. But prior to that, I had just got released from juvenile detention for shooting at some white people for calling me a nigga. Prior to that, I had just got released out of detention center for trying to run some niggas over in the car that we kids. I had a very lengthy, violent juvenile record. Beat up my girlfriend in school, split her ear open. Man, I had a very lengthy, violent juvenile record, but they just used to slap us on the wrist. They used to slap us on the wrist. Back in the back, slap. So when I caught that murder, man, I'm thinking I'm finna go home because I'm so used to getting slapped on the wrist. Man, in the state of Texas, there's a law that's called the Texas Juvenile Determined Sentencing Law, where a kid can be sentenced up to 40 years. Back in my day, it was for a violent crime. Now it's for any felony crime that a kid can commit. So what would happen is we charged with capital murder. I get 12 years for murder. Well, man, how can he get 12 years? Man, my mother was very financially stable. Very, nigga, we was walking on marble floors, bathtub trimmed in gold, live right around the corner from Bobby Valentine, the Texas Rangers manager. Mama made it up out of poverty, man. I know what it's like for a woman. So mama had plenty of money. Mama went out and hired the best lawyer representation in this city, which was a white man by the name of Carl Mallory and a black man by the name of Louis Stern. Louis Stern went on to become Judge Stern. Two of the baddest motherfuckers this city know. My co-actors, they mama was in the projects. They couldn't afford no lawyer. Them niggas got tried as adults. I was 14, they was 15, 16, and 17. In the state of Texas, they didn't try 14s as adults, so I remained a juvenile by law. Right. A year later, they lowered the certification age. I grew up in an institution that was called Getting State Home and School, and it housed violent juvenile offenders. I grew up with children who killed their mothers and their fathers. I grew up with children who stabbed their best friends 93 times. 93 times. Drugged the body out in the backyard, cleaned up the blood, stacked firewood, and then went and helped look for them for 2 days. I grew up with kids who killed 93-year-old women, raped or tortured her. I grew up with children who went in the house and killed their sister because they couldn't go to Six Flags and they got tired of babysitting because mama and them always got me babysitting. And when they went in the house, they just kicked in the head. I grew up with kids who had raped 2-month-old babies, who had raped 2-year-old babies. I grew up with some kids who had done some of the worst and committed some of the worst crimes in the history of this state. And I can stand right here today and tell you there's no such thing as a child born bad. All behavior is learned. All behavior is taught. Children are in pain and they acting it out. Right. So during this era, Mama took us out of Fort Worth, right? The gang shit really didn't come out of California and hit the southern part of America till like the early 80s, mid 80s. By the early 1990s, for us children who finally got to come outside, it was in full bloom. Well, mama took us out of the inner city. We went to the suburb to live this great life. Well, we still come visit Aunt B. We still coming to the hood. We still, even though they leave, we still come visit cousin, come back to grandmama house. When mama go to church, we play with it. So we still get exposed to it.
Right. That's still part of life.
Yeah, it's still part of life, right? And nobody's countering. Nobody's saying nothing bad about it. And then it's embraced by the culture. One thing about Black culture, we embrace everything negative and reject mostly everything positive.
Right.
So, and then we feed it to our children. Our parents used to protect us from certain things. We couldn't hear certain, hey, get out of here. It ain't number grown folks in here. They wouldn't, so there's no more division between what children can hear and what children can see compared to back in our day, right? So here it is, mama gone, so it's nobody to do this for. Hey, boy, close your eye. Hey, boy, close yours. What, you know, so it's nobody to do that, right? So when I land into the juvenile system, coming from a single parent home, mama always gone, really couldn't play no sports, didn't have a positive male influence around, raised up listening to rap, looking at Rap City, looking at Yo MTV raps, looking at all Video Soul, looking at all the negative elements, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, all this shit is our minds are being flooded with this shit as young people, and there's nobody there to filter it for us, right? Right. So and so we're really becoming, as young children, we're becoming we're suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, because back in our day, all the video would drive-by video with somebody laying on the ground dying. So children mimic what they see and repeat what they hear. Right. So when I land in the juvenile system, I finally get an up-close look at the gang life. I finally get exposed to the gang culture. And boy, when I got exposed to that gang culture, say, Demetra, it was everything I was looking for coming from that same parent home. It was everything I was looking for. Boy, them older niggas became like fathers. Man, I found they started calling me C-Nut because I knew how to act like a nut. Right. Oh, boy, I was a little bitty nigga and I knew how to put on a show, boy. Oh, I fought nothing but big nigga. Big niggas say something to me because I knew if I can hang with a big nigga. This was my thought. I ain't gonna fight nobody little. I'm gonna fight all big niggas, so psychologically I look tough. Right. So it was all psychological warfare. I've always been a thinker. Always the smallest, but I'm always a thinker, right? So I joined the gang probably after a year I was there. And man, when I joined, I excelled at it. It was everything I was looking for, boy. I was the big homie's little homie's favorite, boy. I'm the big homie's favorite, nigga, because I'm gonna do everything they tell me to do. I'm gonna go overboard, nigga. I'm gonna play, and all I was doing was just acting, like all the rest of the gangster boys is acting. Children who are in pain. We was all children acting out violent actions and violent behaviors, displaying displaced anger because we was in pain. Some of us was feeling unloved. Some of us was feeling rejected. Some of us suffering from childhood neglect, childhood abuse. Some of them niggas had been molested. Man, niggas had felt rejected by their father. Some niggas had been abandoned. Some nigga was malnourished. Some nigga was suffering from mental health. Some nigga was suffering from a dual diagnosis, what they call substance abuse and mental health. We was children in pain, and all we needed was to be nurtured and re-socialized and rehabilitated and repaired and put back into the right state where a child needs to be. Okay. So at that time, we had a governor by the name of Ann Richards. I'm gonna give y'all a little historical. I knew you were gonna say Ann Richards at that time frame. Ann Richards was our governor at the time. Let me go in here and get my keys so I can run this car. Ann Richards was our governor at the time. Ann Richards was a woman who suffered with alcoholism and drug abuse, prescription pills prior to getting her life together and getting into politics. So she understood addiction. She understood the nature of care, right? So absolutely. I was blessed and fortunate enough during that time to fall into a juvenile system where everything about our juvenile system at that time, it wasn't punitive. And what I mean by punitive, that they didn't punish us. It was a co-ed facility with boys and girls furloughs to go home. We had off-campus passes. We had an indoor swimming pool, indoor gym. We had Segas. We wore our own clothes. So it was like a boarding school.
It was more like rehabilitative, right? More like a behavior
Yeah,
modification, right?
yeah. It was a boarding. It was like a boarding school, right? And so, and Richard had everything structured for us to be repaired. And man, they gave us everything that we needed as children who had committed violent crimes they gave us all the skills, all the tools that we needed to go out in life and be successful. That's why y'all see the man y'all see today. Had I went to prison, had they transferred me to prison, I wouldn't have been able to get the programs. I wouldn't have been able to get the love and the care to repair that hurt, broken child that would commit crimes that I was committing a violent crime. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And all these niggas walking around hurting people, they hurt. And most people that's still dealing in relationships is grown people. They still suffering for what their mamas and daddies did or didn't do. Childhood issues, childhood trauma. That's why niggas ain't faithful. That's why women is insecure, all from what happened as children. They never got healed. They never got repaired. And I was fortunate enough to land in a system that repaired me as a child. Frederick Douglass said it's easier to create strong children than it is to repair broken men. I'm gonna say that one more time. It is much easier to create strong children than it is to repair broken men. We have been stuck for the last 50 years trying to repair broken black men rather than creating strong children. So that's what I wake up to fight for. So I spent 4 years in the juvenile system, gang banging, fighting, 23-hour lockdown, trying to go to prison. Remember, I wanted to be a man. All my big homies is writing me from prison and they making prison sound fun. My brother and them, everybody, these niggas done tricked me with the gang banging shit. I took it in wholeheartedly. As gangster as I thought I was, as tough as I wanted to be, I couldn't wait to get out and kill again. I couldn't wait to get out and put in the work and go get a life sentence. Soon as I joined the gang, this is what I did. I wrote my mother, and I wrote my mother as if I was writing a gang member. I crossed out the B's. I was spelling it CC, and I told mama I joined the Crip gang. I got the Crip guard now, mama. I don't want your guard no more. And this woman coming to see me every other weekend. She's sending me soap. This mama who, can you imagine the pain of a mother? She done sent this boy away innocent, and now he done all of a sudden he writing home with this. The pressures, the peer pressure, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be a part of something. And I had a mother who loved me. Mama, when I called home that night, mama told me, say, son, I got your letter. Now tell them niggas to buy you some soap. Tell them niggas to sing you some soap. See if them niggas go come visit you. Well, man, I didn't join a gang in the free world. I joined a gang in the state school. Just want to be a part of something. Missing mama, a scared little boy. And I knew how to act like I was gangster because I got to watch Uncle Wayne. I got to watch Uncle Curtis. I had already had a walk. Me and my friends used to walk down the street, and I used to say, shit, nigga, when I get to prison, I'm going to be walking like this, boy, when I get to prison. When I was 10, 11 years old, because I was exposed to that. I ain't see no nigga getting up going to work. So here it is. I'm mimicking this shit. When I out on the porch with my friends, we putting bandanas on our head after we saw the movie Colors. Don't know nothing about the Crips and the Blood, but boy, when I saw the movie Colors and I saw High Top and Rocket and they was sitting down and one was over there and they shot each other, I said, man, that's how I want to die. I don't know nothing about dying. I got an undeveloped brain. All the medical research, all the science data, everything says that the human brain does not develop to or at around age 25. That's why the insurance rates don't go down. So here it is, we are children with undeveloped brains, and we're forced to make some of the most crucial and some of the critical decisions of our life when we're the most dumbest, when mama is at work. We guess what we doing? We taking the back of the Bible paper, we going outside, putting the dead grass in the Bible paper because we saw the grown folks smoking weed. We mimicking. Guess what? All the cousins is together. Guess what they doing? They hunching because they done saw Uncle Wayne bring old girl over there and we was peeking through the window. We saw him getting booted. So we mimicking without the parental supervision. So here it is. I'm down there. I'm playing like I'm a hard gangster. Man, my mama coming down here and the juvenile workers is saying, man, this boy got a good mama. He get visits all the time. He playing. I remember one time I went to sleep on on the. I had lost all my privileges, and I went to sleep on the couch. Couldn't play nothing. And the worker was looking at me. When I woke up, she said, "Boy, you ain't nothing but a good kid playing bad. I see right through that hard facade. You acting, boy. You acting. You intelligent. You smart. So those people was adults, and I was a kid mimicking shit. I would read books. I would read Danielle Steele love novels. While my homeboys were playing dominoes, I would read Danielle Steele love novels. I was a nigga who helped everybody write their love letters. So the Texas law states if you get 12 years, you go into the juvenile facility. And 30 days prior to your 18th birthday, you come back to your county and you go back before your sentencing judge. And your sentencing judge will make a decision whether to transfer you into the adult prison system, parole you on your 18th birthday, or he recommits you back into the custody of the youth commission where they can keep you another additional 3 years, but you get out at 21. The state had a recommendation. The state had a strong recommendation for me to be transferred into the adult prison system. I earned that recommendation. I was gangbanging, man. I'm the gang leader. I'm calling shots. I'm kicking off rides. Man, I'm playing like I'm a bad motherfucker. And I come from a good home.
Right.
I was just a little bitty boy, man, who wanted a daddy. And I got all that love and I got all that admiration from the big homies. And they gave me plenty love. And the more love they gave me for doing the food, I did the food.
The more you did the food. Let me ask you a quick question. So with that being something you can recognize
Hold
now,
on, I can't hear you. I done lost you.
Okay. Let me move my microphone up. I said, with that being the case, where the adults around you can recognize that you out of place or someone that don't fit in it, and with the other what I'm gonna say, juveniles in the facility, do you think that part of played a part also in making you act out more because they can sense the difference as well? They can see that you come from a different type of household. They can see that you have a mama who cares. They can see you got a lawyer. Do you think that type of influence also played a part in it?
Put it like this.
I say that
when you mix the well-to-do kids, for some reason your volume went down and I can barely hear you.
Okay. Is that better, Charleston? Is it better?
Hold on. No, I'm good. No, I don't eat no hog maws, nigga. Yeah, no. I don't eat no hog maw. No, what made me act out is that need. That need, right? That need to be accepted by my peers. Mm-hmm. See, I'm a little bitty dude. I'm already small stature. Right. I'm in there with dudes. I'm 14. This dude's in there 19, 20, 21. So there's a big size difference between a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Right.
So my need, my acting out was the attention it got me. Man, the more violent you are on the streets, the more you're praised. So I was so detached from authority figures. What authority figures thought didn't matter to me. My peers mattered to me. What my mama thought, even your kids.
Right.
Your kids' peers, what they peers say and think of them matters way more than what mama and them think.
Right.
So my peers would say, man, that little nigga a damn fool. Oh man, that little nigga a fool. So the more they say that, the more that fed that fool.
Right.
You got to commend the streets put jackets on niggas. That niggas on a damn fool because the streets say they're a damn fool. He shoot up somebody's house one time and he do some wild shit. Well, he got to do something bigger and badder than that next time.
Right. Now he's a shooter, now he's a killer. That's the next step.
Huh?
Now he's a shooter, next he's a killer.
Yeah. Well, the first time he slap you in front of his homeboys, the next time he go stomp you and kick you in your ass. He gonna start whooping you in front of everybody. So it was my need to please to stand out amongst other children who was all young boys, testosterone, everybody fighting to be an alpha male. I'm already small. I got one eye. So man, I got to stand out. I got to make a name for myself. And I know how to act. Mm-hmm. I know, man, when you watch my video.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. With your eye, now that you mentioned it, did that happen in a violent crime or because of those activities, or was it just
no, man, I was 6 years old. I was playing with a slingshot. and I lost my eye playing with a homemade slingshot.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just being bad.
Well, uh, being ambitious, being vibrant. Boys hurt themselves. Boys
Oh,
jump
you
out of
know what?
trees.
And you know what? Thank you for correcting me, because that's exactly what it is. You can't label them bad, because if you give them a label, they're gonna wear it. You're absolutely
Well,
right. You're absolutely right.
well, you can tell I work with kids. That's how you know I consistently work with children. So I deal with the teachers, and so my mama always taught me, man, silence is a form of agreement. So if you somewhere and somebody do something wrong and they say something wrong and you don't say nothing, well, get that silence is a form of agreement.
Wow. Now that's really good. Let me ask you this, right? And you can go back in the
Yeah.
story if you want to, but right now, just maybe I should wait till you settle. But I want to ask you about your organization, because that's how we were just talking about right there, how you deal with the community, how you do deal with children programs, delinquent programs, and I wanted to make sure that we touched upon your nonprofit organization, Hyped by
Yeah.
Hype. So whenever you're ready to talk about that or whatever you want to talk about, I just wanted to kind of make sure that we
Uh,
talk that organization out.
let me finish wrapping up
Sure,
this juvenile
of
thing,
course,
right?
of course.
There was 4 workers. This how I didn't go to prison, right? There was 4 workers who worked on my dorm. Back then we called them house parents. Right now today they're called juvenile correction officers.
Okay.
After Ann Richards in the state of Texas, George Bush became governor. George Bush platform, how he beat Ann Richards, was get tough on juveniles,
Okay.
juvenile justice, hard on juvenile crime. So they went from giving a 13-year-old 30 or 40 years to life without parole. So back then they started sentencing children at 14, 13, 12 years old. They started giving them time sentences in this country. Juvenile life without parole is what they would call it, right? So they would sentence a 13-year-old man to no possibility of ever getting out of prison from a choice and decision that they would make as children with this undeveloped brain. There was 4 people who worked on my dorm. We called them house parents. They put their jobs on the line to come back and testify on my behalf. They didn't have anything good to say about me other than the fact that, Your Honor, this kid got potential to be somebody. Well, how do you know? Based on his negative leadership. And we believe if we had more time to work with him, we believe we can really make an impact and difference in his life. Rather than the judge going along with the state of Texas recommendation for me to be transferred into the adult prison system, the judge took a chance on what those juvenile workers had said, those house parents, and she recommitted me back into the custody of the Texas Youth Commission until I was 21, rather than transferring me into the adult prison system where I would have a permanent mark on my record for murder. By me going back into the juvenile system, it allowed me, once I turned 21 and discharged out of the juvenile system, my record is sealed at 21. My juvenile record is sealed, so I have no felony convictions. I hadn't been to prison. I got out in 1998, so I was locked up from 14 to 21. Let me show y'all something. I got locked up from 14 to 21. 14, 21. You see that big old gap?
Big difference.
You see that big old gap? No life experiences. I didn't go to high school. I got locked up in the 8th grade. I didn't have the natural progressions that people need in life to go through society, to get out at 21 and be successful. You get in at 14, you get out at 21. Man, I don't know how to talk to girls. I don't know how to ride the bus. You ask me, go down north, I don't know which way, north, south, east, or west. So here it is, I get out at 21. Mentally, I'm still 14. I hadn't had the normal emotional development, the normal psychologically development that you have out here, going to the prom, going to class. I ain't have none of that.
Right.
So when I get out at 21, mentally, I'm still 14. In 1998, I'm going to keep talking about culture. I'm going to keep talking about culture. Tupac had just died. So in 98, the gang era is doing this. The gang banging shit is doing this. Tupac brought a different light to the game. So then after Pac died, here come Master P. Master P come with the hustler's mentality, right? So he transformed the culture. The culture transformed. Niggas is falling away from gang banging now. So Master P dropped the album Ghetto Dope. He teach niggas how to sell dope. So when I come home in the black community, the dope game is like the 80s. Niggas is selling dope. Texas statistics say 80% of juveniles after they get out, they're rearrested within 1 year. I catch a drug trafficking case, get caught with 10 pounds. 10 pounds of marijuana and 2 guns. I go to trial, have a mistrial. I'm gonna speed this up. I have a trial, have a mistrial. They offer me 6 months boot camp, 5 years deferred probation. I take that. I spent all of my 20s submerged in the criminal elements of society, trying to find an identity. 14 to 21, my identity is tied inside the juvenile facility as a gangbanger.
Right.
I wasn't a gangbanger in the free world. When I get out in the free world, niggas ain't gangbanging no more. So niggas ain't gangbanging. So I ain't got no identity. So I sold dope I sold weed for a little while. Went up to Arkansas University, sold weed, did robbing, I pimped. Man, I'm trying everything. Man, I'm trying to find an identity as a black man. That's why you see niggas, they be with this nigga one time, they be with that nigga one time. That's why you see niggas doing so many different destructive things, because they're trying to find an identity. They haven't found themselves as individual men. So let me cut this AC off. So I started having children by mid-20s. So when I started having kids, man, I found an identity, a father. Man, a father. I want to give my children something that I never had, a father. Oh man, a light came on. Well, guess what? Here come the brain development, 25, 26, 27. You're thinking different. But I'm still pimping though. My logical sense was, as long as I'm not forcing nobody to do this, man, the girls is agreeing, I ain't pimping on them. I'm helping them get their credit better. And then I'm not pimping on black girls. I ain't never pimped on no sister. Man. My mama and them wasn't gonna be, man, my mom and my sister now, man. So I went across the railroad tracks and done it. So I honor my sisters. So I'm trying to find this identity. So I have my son. I exposed my son to the pimping just like my uncle exposed me to it. Man, I can't leave this little boy. Well, nigga, if you don't want to leave this little boy, you can't go to prison. So I did everything I could not to go to jail on my kids. Having children and not having a father, not seeing a man, I didn't know nothing about being a good dad or a bad dad. I don't know nothing about being a good father or a bad father. I just wanted to be something that I never had. That was just a present father. The kids can come in the room and touch me. They can come in, hey, daddy. That's all I wanted to be. And in the process of just being here for my children, they'll teach me how to be a father. Right. If I do wrong by them, they spirit will let me know I've done wrong by them. So once I embrace that identity of who I am, a father, I was able to discover my purpose as a man on earth, working with children. Well, man, where you get that from? Nigga, you got locked up for murder. So that's how the youth program started about. Okay. So my homeboys got picked up by the feds. Your youth program, or yeah, my youth program. So this how the youth program got started. Okay, let's go. My homeboys out of West Dallas, man, Patrick Weatherall, man, shout out to my niggas, man. They was called the West Dallas Gator Boys. One time his woman took his car and she went and took his vet back. So him being my homeboy, I went and got a truck for him in my name. That's when the 2007 Silverado trucks. I went and got a truck for my nigga in my name. I knew he was a big time dope dealer. So when the feds get them, when the feds get on them, they seize the truck. So I go down there one day to go get the truck, and gang unit picked me up. So you know how gang unit is. They want to rough a nigga up. And so me, at the time, man, I got a real smart mouth, man. I'm real rebellious, man. And I buck the police like a motherfucker, man, at this time. I'm a bucking police. So when I go down to get my truck, they trying to talk to me rough and all that kind of shit, man. They take me down to the parking garage, the Dallas Police Department headquarters. They kick my ass in handcuffs, pull my shirt over my head, man, take pictures of my tattoos on my back and shit. Yeah. rub, you know how they rub their fingers through your ass to feel for dope. So man, they take me to the jail, man. When I born out, man, I'm so mad. The next day, man, I go downtown. First I called Senator Royce West. Man, and I lied on that FBI agent. I lied and
What?
said that they stuck their fingers in my asshole. They sexually assaulted me.
Oh
And so
Lord.
I went and filed an affidavit, man, a 13-page affidavit. Listen, and this is just my hate for police. I went and lied because I know no matter if you tell a lie on the police or not, it stays on their record. If
Right.
you go down there and file a complaint on the police, whether you're telling the truth or not, it stays on their record and it hurts their money. It hurts them for promotion and stuff like that, whether you lying or not. So I knew that, right?
Right.
So I go down there and lie and say they held me down and stuck their fingers in my ass. I go to crying and I put on a Broadway performance. Well, shit, man, about 6 months later, they put a warrant out for my arrest. Coming down there, filing a false police report to a police officer. They get my niggas name, man. My niggas name get 33 years. They put me on the back burner because the officer slash
The
agent who brought
investigations,
them
huh?
down, the officer slash agent, man, who brought them down, he was a highly decorated officer, right? And I done went and lied on him. And said, so now he got this rape allegations on him that he done raped me, man. They mad the motherfucker at me, man. So they put me on the back burner. I go to court like 22 different times. Now it's a misdemeanor charge. I ain't involved in no drug trafficking, nothing. They just got me for lying on this motherfucker. So man, I finally go to court. I had 2 attorneys. My attorneys told me that I couldn't win. I couldn't beat the case. Now this how foolish and dumb a nigga is, right?
Right.
This before a nigga just really changed his life. I'm trying to change, man.
Cause you're
I'm
a
in
father
trouble.
now. You didn't went through experience.
Yeah. So
You want
check
to
this
be
out. Right? I
home.
had just had my daughter. So when I get in trouble, I quit pimping. My baby mama had just had my daughter. And I'm gonna make this confession. This is what really made me quit pimping. I was able to be in the hospital room. When my baby mama gave birth to my daughter. I got kicked out the hospital when my son was born, acting a fool, arguing with the nurses and shit. So I was able to be actually in the room, man, and watch what a woman goes through when she gives birth to a child. That big old long epidural needle, that goddamn long, and she got the
We
whole
know.
still, and the doctor telling her to bend over, and I'm looking at that shit saying, God damn, man, woo, I couldn't do that. And man, I'm looking at what a woman got to go through. And man, I ain't no low down dirty nigga. I come from a loving home, a good mother. So I ain't no stomp down dirty nigga. My pimping elevates, right? So I can't, and this my baby mama, she having my second child. She had my second child. So when the baby come out, I don't hear no noise. I'm listening. I see the doctors over there. Man, what's wrong, man? Is the baby alive? I'm looking at baby mama, man. I'm looking at, man, what's going on, man? I don't hear no noise, man. Then all of a sudden I hear that. Man, when I heard that baby's cry, something on the inside of me changed instantly. Man, God, man, whatever spiritual transformation, man, I just knew I couldn't be the same man and pimp on these women the way I was doing, man. I stopped immediately. There was no way I can have a daughter and look at myself and look at their daughter and treat women the way I had thought to treat women. So, nigga, I learned to be a gentleman toward women. I cuss a bitch out. I cuss a hoe out. But, man, when I meet a woman and a lady, man, I'm on my best motherfucking behavior. So, when I had my daughter, I'm in trouble with this shit. So I'm going back and forth to court, man. I'm going back and forth to court. My baby mama was on the run at the time, right? So my little girl, like 6 months old. My son, he 5. Man, my baby mama, she had been on the run for like 2 years. So she get caught leaving a strip club one night, man. So, damn, man, I'm my first semester in college. I'm my first semester at the community college. I'm studying criminal justice. Man, she done went to jail. I got the baby. God damn, man. So, man, what you gonna do, nigga? Shit, you gotta get your bitch out. Man, my daddy had just died. My daddy died. He leave me like $12,000. The lawyer want 10. The lawyer want 10 for the bond to try to get her back reinstated. That's gonna leave me with 2. Shit, nigga, what you gonna do, man? Just go and go to mama house. Go and go back to mama house, nigga. Lay on mama couch and figure out how to get yourself together. Let them kids take them rooms up there, nigga. You lay on the couch. Let her go back to her mama house. And nigga, you figure something out, nigga. Mama house is for refuge. At mama house, I'm gonna hear some good words. Mama go feed a nigga. Mama go give you the encouragement. Mama go uplift you.
Get you
Mama
back
ain't gonna
together.
tell you sorry. So I went to mama house for the refuge, right? So I'm in trouble. It's time to go to court. I finished 2 years at the community college. I got my associate's degree. So now I'm going to court on this false report to a police officer for lying on that agent, saying they raped me. I go to court. The lawyers say we can't win, so I fire them. I'm a bold nigga. I went to trial. I went to jury trial. I don't know about you, nigga. You niggas take plea bargains, nigga. I go to jury trial. Didn't y'all just hear me say I
I'ma
went to
take a
trial last
plea.
time?
I'ma
Niggas
take
that
a plea.
snitch don't go to trial, nigga. I go to trial, nigga. When you got money, you go to trial. Cause if nothing else, at the trial, nigga, I can file for appeal and get an appeal bond, nigga, and stay out of prison, bitch ass niggas. And I'm sorry, man. Excuse me, I had to say that. So now I go to trial, right?
It's
And so I
okay.
represent myself as my own lawyer. First thing I asked the jury in the jury voudoir, when you picking your jury, first thing I say, don't y'all know that Dallas County leads the nation in wrongful convictions? And at the time, Dallas County led the nation in wrongful convictions. I went and done my homework. Make a long story short, I spent 2 days in trial. The jury spent a whole day. So you know if they take a long time to come back, they mean they really contemplating a not guilty verdict.
Everything, right.
Yeah, so it took a long, so I'm watching, they had a special U.S. prosecutor and all that over there trying to get me. So they come back with a guilty verdict. But they wrote a note to the judge. They requested that I do no jail time. Now, I'm going to show you niggas something. Remember I told you I had just got my associate's degree, so I spent 2 years at the community college. I transferred to Texas Wesleyan University, and I enrolled myself as a pre-law student to study law to become a lawyer. So at this time, this is my first semester. When I'm representing myself in court, I got on my Letterman sweater, my cottage sweater with my college badge on, playing psychological games with the jury. The judge, Judge Phil Barker, he was an alumni. He went to Texas Wesleyan. Oh, man. So here it is. The way I represented myself as my own attorney, man, it impressed the jury and it impressed the judge. And so the jury wrote a letter to the judge that I do no jail time. The U.S. special prosecutor was requesting that I do jail time. This was the judge's exact words. And all because of my mother, all throughout my life, I've gotten favor from white people. All throughout my life at the school when I got in trouble because my mother was an upstanding, dignified woman of character. People, they're going to treat your children based on the actions you display.
Right.
Yes. So the judge looked at my mom and said, Mom, I like you. This was in January, the beginning of February. So I just starting out the spring semester. He said, Mom, I like you. They want him to go to jail, and I'm not sending him to jail. As a matter of fact, Mom, I'm gonna let him spend Mother's Day with you. He'll have to turn himself in after Mother's Day. Now, this is in February. Each time I've been in trouble with the law because of my mother and because of what my mother believed and who my mother prayed to, God have used my trouble to propel me out of trouble and into my destiny. It has been a stepping stone rather than an anchor. So let me speed this up for you. So he said, I'm gonna let him spend Mother's Day with you, Mom. I like you, Mom. I'm gonna make sure you stop smoking weed, young man. You're gonna finish out your first semester at Texas Western. I graduated from Western. He looked at his court reporter and he looked at the prosecutor. He said, I want this young man mentoring the kids about gangs. At this time, I ain't got no intentions on working with kids. The U.S. special prosecutor jumped up and said, Your Honor, we don't have anything like that. This old redneck white man said, find something. You mean to tell me that this kid, he called me a kid, he was involved with this and tied to this, and y'all can't find nothing for him to do working with children? He looked at his court reporter and he said, Loopy, call up such and such and have them come down. I want to put this in this young man's court order. Because if I don't put it in his court order, they're not going to make him do it. So we made sure it was put in my court order. So after all this was said and done, I transferred my probation out of Dallas back to Fort Worth. Well, I'm still smoking weed on the probation with the dirty UAs. So they looking at me saying, man, you can't go talk to no kids. You coming in here with these dirty UAs. You smoking weed. So I told him, man, it's in my court order. It's a court order. So I'm going to do it. Well, they told me, well, we're not going to send you to do it. You go find it on your own. Well, guess what? I've been to TYC. I'm a state baby. I grew up in a state juvenile complex. So I called those people and I told them people, hey, by this time, this was in 2012. No, this was in 2012. I called them people at the juvenile system down in Austin and said, hey, man, my name is Charleston White. I was locked up in Giddings State School. I'm on the Virgin. And I said, Charleston, we remember you. Boy, you was such and such. You was something else. I said, well, man, right now today, I hadn't been back to prison. I don't have any felony conviction. I'm a first semester of the pre-law student at Texas Wesleyan. And I want to come back and work with children. And so I called the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I reached out to this guy by the name of Bob Ray Sanders. He had wrote articles about me when I was 14 when we committed that murder. And so I had told him about, you know, what I was doing. I'm a pre-law student now. So I went and turned myself in. They gave me 23 days in jail. And they gave me 24 months probation. I turned myself in after Mother's Day in May. When I got out in May, early June, right before I went in, a few of my friends, my buddies who I told y'all about earlier, who I was locked up with, they started coming home from prison. They wasn't fortunate enough as me because their mothers wasn't financially able to afford the best representation. So many of these guys went on, they was transferred from the juvenile system into the adult prison system at 18. They went on to spend 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 years in prison from those crimes that we committed when we was 12, 13, and 14 years old. And they started coming home from 1989, 1990, 1991. They was released in 2012, 2013. So God had gave me a vision when my buddies started coming home, man. And they, for some reason, they'd all would find me. I was the leader back then, right? I led everybody back then. So when they get out, they find me, get my number. Hey, man, I heard that nigga Nut doing this. So they call me. And man, God gave me a vision to start a youth organization. And all I wanted to do was just go back inside the juvenile youth prison and work with the kids in prison to help equip them just in case they had to go to prison, and then help the ones who was coming home to make the transition that I struggled with making, with the help that I didn't have, right? So had that judge not ordered me to work with these kids, God wouldn't have never gave me that vision, right? So I had to get in trouble to birth that vision. It looked like trouble, but I had to go through that path to put me on this path that I'm on now. Had I never got into that trouble, I'd still be trying to pimp. And you see what I'm saying? I'd still be struggling with the streets. But the judge put something in a court order that forced me to develop and discover the purpose of why I got in trouble. Man, that no other young person hurt their mother, let alone take another life. See, I paid my debt to society. I done my time. My debt is paid to society. But that life we took, man, I forever owe a debt to that life. So I wake up every day knowing, man, I got an obligation. I got an obligation to right or wrong, And so we reached out to the Star-Telegram. I told them, hey, man, I got 5 guys. We all committed murder when we was children. He spent 20 years. He did 19. He did 28. And so they did a big article about us. And shout out to Bob Ray Sanders, man, at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He retired now, a historical Black editor. That article opened so many doors for me to go into churches, for me to go for me to go into juvenile prison. And so I started traveling around the country as a motivational speaker, telling my story. And then it reminded me of that scripture that my mother used to always tell me, son, that you overcome everything by the power of your testimony. What you go through as a child, what you go through in life, is really not for you. It's for you to help bring somebody else through it. For you to help be for you to be like a Harriet Tubman and guide them through it, right? And so, man, all of this started coming to me. And so me and my buddies, we together, so more people started coming home. Before I looked up, I had 40 guys who all committed murder as children. And so I had a strong organization of men who can go inside the schools and say, nigga, we was as gangster as a nigga want to be. Right. Man, I mean, so we was tricked. We didn't know any better. And so the name Hyped About Hype came along. Hype is an acronym for helping young people excel. So I'm hyped up about helping young people excel. And our motto is to help young people excel in all aspects of their lives. in all aspects of their lives. And so I started creating youth programs, youth development programs, youth engagement programs that they started teaching, and we started teaching inside the juvenile facilities and started the juvenile institution. Then I started getting calls to come back and train the same juvenile correctional officers in the same institution that I was locked up in.
Okay.
So I've been to every juvenile facility in Texas. Then I started getting calls to come in and train juvenile county probation department, so the probation officers and the parole officers. Then I started speaking at the Texas Parole and Parole Officers Association. Then I started speaking on human trafficking, sharing my life as a pimp, and how I got involved in pimping and how I was raised up under a pimp. And then I started getting invitations from the United States Department of Homeland Security to train their human trafficking division in the North Texas, training the first responders to teach them how to handle these young girls like victims rather than like criminals. I teach them how to handle, hey man, all pimps ain't whooping no woman. It's in our culture. It's in our culture. So I teach white people when our young people get in trouble, man, it might be a Charleston White, so don't y'all be too hard on him. So then from there, I started I've worked with over 50 U.S. congressional members remember I told you guys, I told you guys that I work on different laws. Remember I told you about the juvenile life without parole. So I joined the national organization that's called ICANN, Incarcerated Children's Advocacy Network. And so I started working and partnering with lobbyists and congressional members to get those hard juvenile laws abolished and changed in different states and around the country on a national level. So I would fly to Washington, D.C. every year, man. And so we end up in 2016, we went to the Supreme Court. You can Google it. We got juvenile life without parole abolished in America. And so a kid in America can no longer be sentenced to life without parole with no chance of ever getting out. Then I came back home. And then I came back home after traveling around the country working. Man, I've done private work with the White House. After the Baltimore Ferguson riots, I was on a private phone call with Barack Obama with ideas, sharing my ideas, man, what they should do over there. So man, I've done a lot of work. Then I came back home. I came back home to put the youth organization here at home. One of the old street OGs, he's a 75-year-old dude. He's a street legend in his town. He got a club called the Classy Lady over in Stop 6, a well-known blood neighborhood, a historical black neighborhood. He called me up one day and said, man, I've been watching you go around this country and do this and do that. These children at home need help. What can we do? He called me down to come meet him. I went down, we sat down, we talked. I had just got through reading Black Panther's 5-point principles for the 5th time. So my brain was rejuvenated, refreshed. And I looked at the old man and I said, hey, Pops, I'm gonna feed, I'm gonna clothe, and I'm gonna educate these kids. And he looked at me and said, nigga, don't tell me no motherfucking lies. Don't come down here talking. And he gave me the keys to his building. And so I cleaned that building up within 2 weeks. I spent the next 4 years every summer. I feed kids a summer program, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I ain't begging for no money. I ain't getting no grants. At one point in time, we had over 40 kids. We take them on field trips. We take them to the Mint. We take them to the, if you see, when we take them to the military, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. I take them to the Republican headquarters. I take them to the Democratic headquarters. I take the kids out the hood to expose them. Remember, I talked about the exposure, what we're exposed to balance that, right? To give them something. If you dying of thirst and you walk into a building and all they got is dirty water, man, that's all you go drink is the dirty water. But boy, if you walk in and they got dirty water and clean water, man, you go pick the clean water. Right. Our children don't have options anymore. So I may not be the richest man in the world, man, but my organization works to help provide the alternatives and the resources that the children don't have. So if I ain't got it, guess what? Man, I know they got it over there. I know they got it over there, and I'm going to go get it. I'm going to bust up in the mayor's office, and I'm going to say, man, these po niggas over here in Stop 6 ain't got it, and I'm going to call them po niggas to get everybody attention. And these po nigga babies, her nappy in them up. So I'm going to use the wording. I'm going to use the wording. I'm gonna act and talk like the niggas in the ghetto around white folk. Cause if you, so this what I tell our elected officials. If you can't handle me, you sure can't handle my
Oh,
people. I'm
it's
acting.
true.
I'm
That's not
acting.
real.
My people don't have a different language. I'm articulate. I can talk like y'all talk. My people can't speak that European talk. They talk that nigga talk, that ignorant nigga talk. So I came down there, man, and so I started feeding. Man, ain't no Bloods help me. Ain't no Crips help me. So then all of a sudden, here come this gang violence is starting to re-erupt. So I moved to California a couple years ago. So I went to Cali. Man, I fuck with them real niggas, them real Crips and Bloods. And so I realized after hanging out with some of the original Crips, some of the first original Crips, man, they don't honor no Crips outside of Cali. They don't respect Texas Crips. They say we emulating them. So when I realized that, I said, man, we dying and killing over California streets, and most of these niggas ain't even walked on these streets.
Right.
They can't even go over there. They can't even go to California and represent them California. They'll get killed. So I say we got to be dumb and stupid. But it's all the southern states. It's all the southern country agricultural states that embraces that like that. So I came back home to denounce it.
Yeah.
It's negative. It's destructive. It's caused more harm than anybody. And as fathers and as men, how can you break the cycle?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, okay? The reason why I would ask you this question, I pose this question to you, is because all throughout your story, you make a lot of references or time period references, music, media, what's going on socially at the time to make your choices and what you're influenced by, right? So,
yes, ma'am.
With that being said, and you done took us through from the 80s to the 90s to like where we're at now, right? Let's go back now 8 years. I say about 8, but you're a dude, so maybe you say about 10 or whatever, you get it right for me, right? You already said about social influences and stuff like that, how rap changed to the NWA, all that kind of stuff, changed the Master P and everything else. Now, it's my inclination, me personally as a female, okay? I truly feel the resurgence of the gang popularity, especially like in Texas and where I see it, I promise you. I really feel that came with the rap again, like with the Lil Waynes, the gangs.
Lil Wayne, you call that's good. You hit it right on the head. You're right. Look, when Mac 10 went to Cash Money.
You know?
Yep.
So
you hit it right on the head. Yes, ma'am.
I see that. And it's just like, even like, I don't want to get, you know what I'm saying? But the gang thing is big in some places. Like you said, you're from Texas, I'm from Texas. And I know for myself, from being in the 90s to the 2000s and being like grown now, looking at these young guys, right? I'm like, how, like in my city, I might be wrong from saying this, but what you see visibly, all I see is red color, right? Which is fine, whatever. I ain't affiliated, right? But my question would be this. That's also Lil Wayne, the gang, all them colors, okay? So my question would be, and quite often is, like even to those young men, how you doing this and y'all ain't got no opposition? If everybody doing the same thing, because I be on the good click or whatever's popular, the wave.
It's deeper than that, sister.
But I don't want to go too deep.
It's deeper than that. Let me answer your question. Most of the Bloods, most of the guys, most of the little boys who identify as Bloods, either they uncles or their dads identify as Crips. So this is a form of rebellion, because prior to all the Bloods, it was mostly Crips. The Crips have always outnumbered the Bloods.
Always, yes.
Lil Wayne is in the South.
Wow.
So most guys rebel against their daddy. So this is their way of rebelling. Even though they daddies were some gangster street niggas, they walk in their daddy's shoes, but it's the form of rebellion. Those guys who are walking around
and say,
most guys,
you know what? I'm so glad I
around is walking around with the different they.
Okay, and let me do this, Charleston. You don't mind? What I would like to do, okay, and I'm not cutting you off or speeding you up, okay, but I would also like to involve my audience, which is litALLday, because I'm Demetra litALLday. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But I want to kind of, if you don't mind, start taking questions and commentary from some of the audience, and then we can go back on one-on-one. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. How much longer you gonna hold me
I
up
mean, you
on
can
here?
keep talking. I want to start getting it to the point where they can actually start like talking back to you, respond to you, maybe relating to you. I do want to ask the question now again that I asked in the very beginning, right? Right now, I have live exclusively Mr. Charleston Wright, otherwise known as Rat Williams. I started off this show asking you guys, is he a snitch? I asked him, is he a snitch? When you guys came on this line, when you guys saw the social viral video, what did you guys think? And what do y'all think so far? You
Well,
guys can
let me
jump
ask
in
the
here.
question. What is a snitch?
Well, that's a good question. Let me just tell them. I dropped the link, and my moderators will drop the link in the box. I mean in the chat. If anybody want to come on and join us and ask a question or even make a commentary with us guys or talk to us, you're more than welcome. If you want to ask a question in the chat, my moderators make sure that we see it and that we address it. So this is the portion for Q&A. We're gonna keep talking, but it is the time for question and answers with Demetra litALLday and Mr. Charleston White. Okay, Charleston, you keep talking. Oh, well, let me drop my bomb real quick. I ain't been able to drop my bomb. Hold on. Up. Why is not exploding? Whatever. I hope you guys are enjoying you guys selves. I'm having a great time. I from the looks of the comments, you guys are having a good time too. What y'all saying no about? What y'all saying no about? Oh, not a stitch. Okay, I say no too. I say no too. I'm talking about what y'all talking about? No. Naya Love says I agree with that because my nephews have done the same. That's not that it's okay to bang, period, but they have gone opposite of the older generation males in my family. Okay.
I told you. It's
Hey
a form
Reed.
of rebellion.
You know what? Until you said that to me and I asked you that question, I really truthfully didn't get it because we the same age. Okay. We from the
Yeah.
same state. Okay. So it's the same type of influences I hear. I'm female though,
Mm-hmm.
you male. Okay. And at the time when I was like in middle school, high school, gang banging and all that kind of stuff was not big. The only gang, I'm just in Beaumont, Texas, okay? The only ones that you seen that was wearing the cornrows, the dickies, and gang banging, they was wearing all dripped in blue, and they was from family, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they came from California or something with that. You get what I'm saying? So it was just amazing how the culture
Tell
just
them
switched
people
like
gonna get me,
that.
huh?
But when you said that about in rebelling against your father and the different influences, the male influences, that made sense to me. Like you said, women, we different than y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we see things differently. Okay, they got a question for you.
Say that again.
Uh-oh. No, never mind.
Oh,
uh okay, Miss Doreen says, you said, what is a snitch? Miss Doreen is blessed said, hey, Miss Doreen, she said, answer to what's a snitch? A person giving info to officials to save themselves. Hmm.
uh,
Now, Miss Doreen, that's a little
well, that
interesting.
sound like a Google. That sound like a Google definition. Uh, but that sound like a criminal. A criminal in trouble. So that excludes me from being a snitch. Uh, cause I ain't gave no officials no information to save myself. I gave official information so when I shoot a nigga, I get a no bill. I can do like George Zimmerman did. Nigga get to walk home and then they got to go put pressure on everybody to get me recharged. See, it's a difference, man. When you breaking law, and let's just say this, right? We all know drug dealers in our communities. We all know niggas who done kill somebody. We done all watched First 48. So we done all watch them niggas go in there. They be stone cold killers out in our
Mhm.
neighborhood. Soon as they get on First 48, that white boy get them niggas them cigarettes. Them niggas go to helping them white folks sort out everything. Same when the FBI come into our neighborhoods and they pick up these niggas for dealing drugs. Them niggas go down there. They don't do what I do. I go to trial. Them niggas go down there and make plea bargain. So if them niggas can go down there and they can commit crimes in the community. They can sell drugs in the community, and then they all tell on each other. They come back to the community. They go get jobs. Some of them come back selling dope. How can they do all that snitching and not be in fear? So why would the fuck would I wake up and be in fear when here it is? I'm trying to clean up my community. And here it is, in the process of me cleaning up my community, some gangbangers go to threatening my life because I want to clean up the community. Well, now you done got my attention, gang member. At first, you didn't have my attention. Now you got my attention. You should have stayed in the dark where I didn't even know you existed. Now let me look at you, nigga. Matter of fact, let me call the big bad people, because y'all are some big bad people now.
Yeah.
How else do we clean up our communities?
And that's kind of like my feeling was when I started looking at it and evaluating it, I started thinking about my own self, right? So for my own self, I'm not going to call the cops because me and my homegirl or me and some chick get into it. And that's some stupid street stuff. I'm not going to call the cops because I'm trying to do some type of con with somebody that didn't go my way. So I'm going to get them caught up. I'm not going to call the cops because I got some domestic going on. But however, if I got an outside threat from this whole other entity that I ain't doing nothing to, I'm gonna call the cops too. You know what I'm saying?
Say, listen, this nigga got on my Facebook Live, and this what that nigga said. That nigga say, just pull up to my block and let's fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Let's just die today. Hold on, nigga. We both just go. What about the kid? Man, you see how foolish these niggas is? So here it is. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm on Facebook minding my business, and every day I got some street niggas threatening me, all bitch ass nigga. Say, you can't find nobody that's in jail saying, man, I'm in jail because he put me there. It ain't nobody got out of jail say, yeah, man, I got out of jail. You can't find that nowhere. But you can't come threatening nobody. And then nigga, come on now. If you threaten a white person, they gonna call the police on you. If you threaten my mama, she gonna call the police on you. If you threaten me, I'm gonna call the police on you. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't want to fight. Grown men don't fight. You can't find no grown man nowhere throughout history that fight. They grown men sit down and talk it out, especially Italian gangsters. Italian gangsters got to go sit down at the table and talk it out. Now, if we can't talk it out, then we both agree we go kill everybody. But nigga, these niggas just, so here it is, you go, me and this nigga, we having a discussion on Facebook. All of a sudden, you hollering your Crip game. Where that come from, nigga?
Yeah, that's out of place. That's out of place, out of line. And that's, to me, it's like what it's called. That's trying to be like intimidating. You understand? And that's another thing that really drove what's the word? Attracted me to your commentary and what you're saying, because I like the fact that you say keep that stuff in the street. Don't come over here trying to stop my freedom of expression. Don't come over here with that gang stuff, that street stuff, and that hood mentality over here to a whole different platform where I'm on my purpose, on my civil duties. You know what I'm saying? Or just expressing my freedom of speech. You know? And that's where I think, like, a lot of times, even in social media, it becomes, with so many platforms, it really becomes almost like some type of proxy gang mentality. Like right now, the same.
Man, that's because our people, man, listen. Our people are in pain. These are little boys who grew. Listen, I've been working. My mother been a foster parent for over 30 years. I've been working with children in the juvenile system. Man, I've been reading young boys' files. Man, these boys are hurt. They done been molested by their mama's boyfriend. Man, dude, you can't imagine how many men is coming home from prison, getting in the household with a woman, and he ain't just molesting the girls, he molesting the little boys too.
Oh, I can't. Okay.
I done read so many files of little boy. I done read so many I work on death penalty cases. Right now, I work as a criminal defense mitigation specialist. I'm working on 3 different death penalty cases where young boys is about to be sentenced to death for capital murder. The public defender's office, they hire me to help come up with mitigating factors and mitigating circumstances to spare our young boys' life. You know how many files I done read from these hardcore gangster killers that done been molested? So I look at them different. I know when they come up barking, talking loud, I know that's the hurt boy. He wanna show you nothing but the over masculinity to hide the pain. Hurt people hurt people. So black people are hurting. We're coming from dysfunction homes. This mothers who don't breastfeed, mothers who don't nurture, grandmothers who's not loving, fathers who's absent. Say, man, brothers, say, man, we are in pain. We are a sick race of people today. So that's why on every social media site, we resort to violence. We don't know how to conflict resolute. We are not critical thinkers. We can't think past our emotions. We are emotional creatures, and all we know how to do is respond to emotions. We can't think. That's why that's all you see on these sites. That's what make it so hard for us to be sentenced the way we get sentenced. That's what make it so easy for the police to shoot us dead in the streets. Look how we behave
with each other. Okay, so I want to take a question from Gaia Love 22, okay? It says, she's asking you, has any member of any gang been taken off the streets through your activism?
None. Matter of fact, I can charge my phone up right now. One of them was caught with some heroin. One of them had just come home from federal prison, had got caught with an ounce of heroin. His lawyer by the name of Lisa Pamplin, one of the best black lawyers, and shout out to Lisa Pamplin. Lisa Pamplin know me from the work that I do in the community over in his neighborhood. His lawyer jumped up in court and said, Your Honor, my client, Julius Williams, I'm going to say his name, Julius Juju Williams, works with, he helps Charleston White. He helps Charleston White over in the Stop Six community. Well, everybody know what I do. The lawyer, not the lawyer, but the judge and the prosecutor said, show us some proof. Well, unbeknownst to the lawyer, Juju had came through the summer before and spent like $4,000, man, buying the little hood kids Jordans and KD shoes.
Okay.
I went back through Facebook, got them pictures. I went and reached out to the mothers. They showed up at the attorney's office. I showed up. We provided letters. They took that 25 to life off the table, and Juju is at home with his family with a 10-year probation sentence, and he completed his federal probation. When the gang members go to jail, who you think family they calling, saying Mr. Charles attorneys? They won't let him make bond because he that. He wasn't involved. So guess what I do? I wake up the next morning, I call Mr. Dexter down at pretrial services and say, man, the young boy got kids, man. He wasn't involved in this. I call the chief of police and say, man, y'all got the wrong one, man. So now ain't none of them been in jail. I get to the Harvard Street Crips and some unknown niggas that was playing them some social media motherfuckers. If you go look through my videos, I went to Nipsey Hussle's funeral with the Rolling 60 Crips, and I sat with the family. And I ain't from California, and you had to have a ticket to get to Nipsey. Yeah. Go back and look through my videos, man. No, I put all the evidence up there. I work with the largest gang in Fort Worth, one of the largest Mexican gangs. Don't y'all get so caught up into what y'all see on social media, because these are people who get to write the title, they get to spin the narrative, and they don't play y'all the whole videos. So don't y'all get so caught up in the social media bullshit. It's a character. And I didn't even go inside the police department. If y'all notice, I was on the outside. It ain't no reports. Don't y'all get caught up into the act. The act is just for you to get the message. But see, what the dumb black mind is so stuck. See, black people got an entertainment whore's mind. That's why we love Tyler Perry. That's why we love Kobe Bryant. That's why we don't know anything about Marcus Garvey. That's why we don't know anything about Medgar Evers. That's why we don't know anything about Huey P. Newton. That's why we don't know anything about those revolutionary people, because we have an entertainment whore's mind. And so I know that. And so I saw the movie Dolomite, and I created this bold character on Facebook so I can get the message to my dumb black people with the entertainment whore's mind, in hopes that they can get the message.
Ooh, this has been another lit moment. It ain't over, but I had to take a moment introduction, let him catch his breath, and let me go ahead and redeem myself. I am Demetra litALLday, and you guys are very live and very direct here on my channel, Demetra litALLday channel. If you're enjoying this video, why don't you do me a favor? Go ahead and share it out. Don't keep this good stuff to yourself. Where that sound coming from?
What's that's I'm driving right now, baby.
No. I think my phone was playing. It was giving me a feedback. That was me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me check and see if anybody asked a question. Here we go. We got another question for you from the audience. Okay, from litALLday. litALLday asks you, how can we help with your cause, mission, and organization?
Uh,
How can we help?
start wanting replicate or emulate what you've heard me say I do. That's how you can help me. My mother told me, son, charity starts in your own home.
Okay.
How can you go out and be in the community helping other people kids and then your kids need you? So
Absolutely.
I had to hit the reset button. I had to, man, okay, nigga, it's been a whole year, nigga, you done missed a year of going to have lunch with your daughter. Man, you've been missing her dance practice because you got to go back over here and do this. So I had to reset the button. Charity starts in the home, mama. Okay, mama. So I went and evaluated, man. Okay, charity starts in the home. Let me make sure my key is right. Okay, let me make sure I got a good relationship with my niece and my nephew. Okay, let me make sure things good with the cousins that I talk to. Okay, what about so that's how, man, if nothing else, I'll send anybody some programs. I got 3 programs, 3 curriculums. They 16-week curriculums. Man, you can teach them in the after school programs. You guys can create nonprofit organizations, and I'll come in and show you guys how to get the nonprofit off the ground and be self-sustained where you ain't got to rely on government grants and government funding. I'll give you the programs. I'll come in and I'll train and I'll help. Man, I just want to come light fires in other villages. But
that's incredible.
Help me by helping those that's closest to you, because those that's closest to the problem is closest to the solution. You're the most closest to the problems and the solutions in your community than you would be to mine.
And you know what? I say that quite often here on my YouTube platform, because sometimes, and this is what the attraction was from my perspective to your perspective, okay? It was
yes,
just comparing it. And my thing is like the social media and the community, the black community, my community, whatever. So what I'm trying to say, in my life, like on YouTube, this platform, I always try to say that, like, while we heard about what's going on with a virtual home that's miles away, that you never seen, we calling CPS, we calling FBI, we doing all this crazy stuff that's the real snitch stuff. Why don't you turn an eye to what's happening right in your house? Why don't you turn an eye to that child next door that you see with bruises and stuff? Why don't you turn your eye to your niece and nephew?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? Why don't we start right there? Like me, myself.
Your po nigga cousins, as I call them. You know, them po nigga cousins that we all talk about.
Yeah, that we got and that we see. You know what I'm saying? How often are we gonna just leave that baby over there with that cousin who you know the mama tripping and stuff? How many times we gonna talk about the mama and not try to help the mama? How many times we gonna understand the mama going through something and go ahead and pull her child out of there and bring them in our house? You understand?
Yeah.
So it's real easy to talk and judge and be so non-productive, but yet destructive with each other. But
yes, ma'am.
Harder to truly embrace what's in front of you and deal with the own stuff in your own yard. I truly believe in what you said about it has to start at home. It has to start right in front of you. How can I care about somebody millions of miles away and I don't care about my neighbors right next door to me? How can I? It's fake. It's phony to me, and it's no substance in that. We can have compassion for others, but we should put our work into those right there that look right there by us.
Yeah,
and that's what I got from you. You know, and you know, it's just awesome. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asks you, when will you be in New York?
Ask her when she gonna invite me. Whenever, man. I'll go anywhere. I traveled around the country. I never been to New York. I've had someone reach out from New York, but no one's officially gave me an invite. But man, I'll come anywhere. I'll come anywhere because what I understand about children, for one, they didn't ask to be here. Number two, no child is born bad. Number three, they're 100% of our future. Not me, not you. They're 100% of our future. And if we keep going on the trajectory that we're going on cultural wise, we're gonna see we're gonna live the movie The Children of the Corn. We're already doing it, right? Because our young people are emotionally detached from the old. We say fuck the old people. We don't go sit with grandmama. So
No, no, no,
here it
no.
is. We
Okay, okay. That's a whole nother, I get what you're saying. I'm about to get into a whole tangent about that. That's
yeah,
part of
yeah.
that's,
So
that's
let me
one of
make
the
this
reasons
point.
I
So
came
let
on
me
YouTube.
so let me finish making this point, right?
Go
And
ahead. I'm
so
sorry.
it's such a detachment from generation to generation to generation,
Mhm.
right? And so that young generation is so far detached from us
Okay.
because they are a technology generation.
Right.
They don't deal with the human interactions that we dealt with, right? They bully from behind a screen. They don't get to
Hmm.
see the bully. Uh, all day long they got music in their ears. All day long they looking down at a phone. When you
Right.
say something to a kid nowadays, they got to pull something out of their ear and say what you say, and you saying, "Did you hear me?" So it's already a disconnect.
Look at me. Yeah.
It's already a disconnect. They don't even want to interact with us. When they at the table with us, they looking down. Man, they are so disconnected from us. So we are going. When me and you get old, we're going to be seeing old people get beat and slaughtered and raped by the young people because of the detachment. Right? Nobody's coming back down off into the black community. Nobody sits with the old and the young at the family reunions. We come from a culture of people where we didn't write no shit in no books. We called ourselves griots in Africa. We was all historians. We knew our history and we taught our history orally. That's where storytelling come from. We
Hmm.
passed down those traditions. You got grandmother recipes because she told you how to make it. You put this with that, you memorized it. So when the old and the young, when we sit amongst each other, there's no engagement, there's no interaction.
Right. It's separated. You know
So
what I'm saying?
we're all separated, right? So that's how uh man, that's how them kids can stay on them games all day and all
Okay, so
night.
let me address. I'm sorry, I'm very excuse me, but this is our first detractor, okay? And I I give the haters attention just a little bit, okay? So Kevin
Okay.
Hunt, what makes him an office rocker? What I would like for you to do in a very respectful way that you've been so far is let me know exactly how he. Oh, you said just this morning he was bragging about selling crack. Okay,
He
so
lying
Kevin
motherfucker.
Hunt says just this morning you was bragging about selling crack, and that's why he
He
said you
lying.
off your rocker.
On what platform? Because I got my phone right now. I ain't never
I didn't
bragged
see it.
about selling
I
crack.
know I know I follow your
Yeah,
IG. I know I
yeah,
follow
you watch all my
your
stuff.
pages.
No, I ain't no.
So I'm
I
just
ain't never
wondering.
bragging about selling crack.
Okay, well, Calvin Hunt,
Here's the
welcome
thing.
to this lane, baby. I thank you for your click and view and stay for the rest of the interview. If you have a question that has some substance or even a question that's foolish, I welcome your engagement. Just keep it respectful, brother. Welcome. Go
So
ahead.
this is what I want to tell black people. Have y'all ever heard the saying, actions speak louder than words?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think I've gone I've gone viral? I've become an internet sensation. My videos is on World Star Hip Hop. My commercials is playing on the hip hop radio stations in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. If I was selling crack, don't y'all think people would be saying, man, that nigga sell crack. Man, that nigga do this. Man, don't you think all this attention, what sense would that make? Come on, black people. Are we becoming that dumb and that stupid? Come on, man.
You know what? That
What?
makes okay.
Hold on, let me say, come on, man. Come on, man. Do y'all can can y'all see? This is what done happened. We have been lied to for so long. We have been played on for so long. We have been tricked for so long. We don't know how to recognize truth when it come along now. We don't know what's real and fake no more. Everybody hollering they real fake. Everybody saying fake seem real. He done sat here and heard an hour and a half of me and you having dialogue. He done heard me say
Right.
that that's a character. He read my Facebook post. Come on, homie. Some logic should kick in at some point. But when you got a sour heart and you got hate in your heart, you will respond like that.
You know what? I want to ask you a question, and this is a question that I had when I made my first commentary about you. Okay, it brought to my mind because at that point in time, I really, quite honestly, from me just looking at a couple things, listening to your IG, getting more. I said I already making my mind on you, but I already made up my mind on you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had you on my page. Okay, first exclusive or non-exclusive, I just wouldn't have had you on here if I didn't think you was real, right? Or that you stood for something that I can recognize. Period. So one thing that really came to my mind when you're willing to stand for what you believe in, do the actual work, make actual change. At that point in time, to me, it puts me in a I'm sorry. It puts me in a mindset. Where you went? It puts me in a mindset of I don't know where you went, but I'm sure you come back. Just hit the link again, Charleston, and I can put you back on. But to me, it brought to my mind. I was thinking to myself, this is almost like a revolutionist. You know what I'm saying? This is almost like a freedom fighter. I had to question myself. Would I put my commentary, my perspectives, my thoughts on the line for y'all? And my answer was hell no. But it's something to be said about somebody who's willing to do that. And to me, in Charleston White, that's what I saw. It wasn't just the bravado. He got actual stuff stacking up behind him. He got actual good faith, good works, good deeds stacking up behind him. And then to not simply roll over to intimidation and pressure, to say, no, this is what I stand for, this is what it is, and this is what I'm finna say. Because at the end of the day, yeah, he's still living, breathing, talking now, thank God. But y'all know, like I know, quite easily it could be something different with that man. So to me, that stands heads and shoulders above a lot of rhetoric that I hear. Do you care enough about your cause where you truly put your life on the line? Yeah, let's talk about it. I want to give him a chance to come back. I don't want this show to go over 2 hours. We got about 15 minutes left. I don't. If you can hear me, Charleston, you can click the same link again and come back on so we can close out the show. I'm sorry, y'all. My green light is my green screen. The light is changing as the night go by. Ooh, they're gonna tell me I got bloodshot eyes. That is the green screen or something. Hold on. All right, y'all. Welcome to the lane. I hope you guys have had a great evening. I have been enjoying myself. I am Demetra litALLday. Hey, Channel 85 Davis. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can get him back or on the phone and see what's happening, y'all. Can y'all? I'm sorry. Excuse me for one moment. This is my first interview. Okay. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I just want to wrap this up properly. Okay, he back. Let me stop calling him. Okay. Okay, Charleston, I see you back there. Give me a thumbs up because I can see you backstage. If you ready for me to bring you on, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
My
you
phone
back?
went dead. Yeah, this is what I was saying, man.
No problem. No problem.
When you go
Okay,
use lot?
I don't want to go over 2 hours. Huh?
No, listen, this is what I want to tell that brother. Say, homie, if you watched that video this morning, you saw me taking my daughter to school. What nigga y'all know who sell crack, even do that, who y'all ever known to sell crack, consistently wake up and talk about community and bring this kind of attention on him? Wouldn't he be trying to get his money and sell crack? I've uploaded pictures with the police. I've uploaded stuff like this here. Let me turn this around. I've uploaded stuff like this here, man. Look what this say. Look what that say. That say Tarrant County Elections Department. Presiding election judge, Charleston White. Elections administration, March 3rd, 2020, Republican primary election. Look what that say, homie. February 2020. I'm the election judge. I don't know if y'all know how serious or how important that is. So what? Come on, homie. Let me know you niggas watching the videos. But when you got a sour heart, Come on. Are we that hateful toward one another? Me and this woman been on her an hour and 50 minutes. you ought to be saying, man, well, the nigga do be saying some wild shit. It got to be a character in there. It got he mixing it up. So something ought to click. Just like Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is funny, but Tyler Perry is much funny as dressed as Madea. He can't beat
Right.
Tyler Perry and get the same response. So he had to create the Madea character.
To catch the
I had
attention.
to create the character. Stupid motherfuckers, yeah, nigga, my nigga cross country pimp. So I had to create the character just like the rapper. The rapper ain't the rapper who y'all think he is. He had to create this image because Confucius said, he who control images control minds. You see all these minds I got? God have made me a fisherman of men now.
Okay.
Now these niggas running, heard the word. So I'm getting you some religious shit. I'm getting you some spiritual shit. I'm getting you law. I'm getting you community shit. I'm getting you street shit. I'm getting you bullshit. I'm getting you ignorant shit. I'm getting you a whole bunch of shit. And it's up to you to decipher.
Escort Calvin Hunt out the room because ain't nothing he has to say. If you can't come on here and give an actual, like even an actual debate, you're not. It's not. Well, it's not even worth the time, and you're distracting my chat. So
that's
go ahead and block him. Block him. Block
yeah,
him.
that's one of them. That's one of them Facebook dudes that follow me on Facebook, and I embarrass them all the time.
Let me tell you, when they come up in here, if you want to troll, you got to troll at a very high efficient rate. You know what I'm saying? Something like spectacular. If you want to go in opposition to what I'm talking about, or anybody on my channel talking about, you got to come with it. You can't just say little petty stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
That must be one of your trolls because he must don't know me. Okay?
Yeah, that's one of mine. I see his name all the time. He follow me everywhere I go. See, that's what they follow me everywhere I go. Them trolls, whoever. So that's why I say I'll go wherever, because the truth gotta be told to our people and they want to stop the truth. That's why I love you, sister. I went and watched you say, girl, you raw and uncut. You raw and uncut. I swear.
You know, but I'm keeping it cool and I'm being influenced by you. I'm going to follow up on a few things that you stated that I didn't know anything about. Like a few of the references you made, like with the juvenile life thing. I'm gonna back up those stories. I actually have a list of questions I want to talk to you, but I don't want to go over 2 hours. So maybe, just maybe, on your platform or even my platform again, I would like to talk to you about a few different like current issues and stuff and get your mind frame of it.
I'll co-host with you weekly if you want me to. If you want me to do it once a week where you got Charleston White and you just got me and you ask, I'll do that for you, sister.
Well, thank you. Because I think it'd be very interesting, like past this getting to know you. I think it'd be very interesting for us to chop it up and really get real and real lit and real Charleston like with it, real Rad Williams like with it, and talk about some social trending issues. You know what I'm saying? So I'll follow up with you behind the screen. What I want to thank you for giving me this, my first exclusive interview, my first real interview. I want to thank you for joining the show and being honest and open and forthright. And I want to give you an opportunity to make your final statement, however, whatever it is. And then I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna close the show.
My final statement is why everybody got all these opinions. We watched the Botham John case where the black brother got shot. We saw Mike Brown, we saw Trayvon, we watched all these police shootings. We watched the Black Lives Matter come through, and we have never seen black people exemplify the fact that Black Lives Matter to black people. With that being said, every day that we wake up in this country, your black son has a ticket to go to prison. He got a one-way trip ticket to prison. Long before he was born, they said 1 in every 3 black males in this country will go to prison or be on some form of community supervision or parole in their lifetime. It don't say maybe, it don't say possibly, it says 1 in every 3 will go or be. So me and you can get up in the morning and go to the next fraternity ward and walk through the maternal ward and go 1, 2, 3. One of those babies going to prison. On the way, when you drop your kids off at school, you can count black boys. 1, 2, 3. One of them children are going to prison. When a black men are going to stand up and try to help make that a lie? Because when you look at everybody in prison, almost 90% of the men in prison come from a single parent home with no father. 73% of our households are headed by a single woman with no
Right.
man in it.
Mm-hmm.
50% of the children who register in school don't have a father's address on the
Huh.
application.
Absolutely.
The greatest problem that's plaguing black people, black Americans, and the black community is the lack of fathers.
Okay.
All them niggas is in gangs playing homeboys. So when you niggas get through playing homeboys and booty buddies, maybe you niggas can answer the call of duty, nigga, and come
Ah,
embrace fatherhood the way y'all embrace the hood. Nothing is greater than the responsibilities of being a father. And that's what I wake up to be. Now, once the kids grown, man, I don't know what life gonna be like. I don't know what I'm gonna do when the kids grown. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But right now,
you
man,
might
it's
get
all
back
about
to
the
it.
kids.
I'm kidding.
I might go back. Say, but it's all about the kids, man. They didn't ask to come here. They didn't ask to be here. So that's it. I'm done for the night. And I want to say thank you, sister, for the dignity, for your integrity, for your character, and for your spirit. You
Well,
are a breath
thank
of
you.
fresh air on this social media platform.
Oh,
And I'm
thank
done.
you. And I thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna drop the links. His link to his IG is on my page. Once I know which did you want me to drop the links to your Facebook pages or no?
No,
I would.
Instagram. I done fell in love with Instagram.
Okay, so y'all guys have been seeing his Instagram link all through my chat. It's in my description. Charleston White, I want to thank you from me, Demetra litALLday, and I want to thank you from Lit Lane. I'm gonna let you go. You be blessed until we talk again.
Yes, ma'am. God bless. Black love is black power.
Thank you. Uh-oh, I did it wrong. Hold on. Let me take you off. All right, everybody. I am just too tickled. Let me stay professional. This is the end of my show, my exclusive interview with Mr. Charleston White, aka Rad Williams. What did you come out at the end of this deal with? Do you still think what you thought in the beginning? Do you think he's a snitch or do you realize that he's an activist? What parts of this story impacted you the most? Now, I don't want y'all to tell me here now. I want y'all to tell me in my comments. I'm Demetra litALLday. I so appreciate y'all joining me on this day. I'm trying to make it rhyme or something. And please, before you walk in my door, do one thing for sure. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Good night. Thank y'all.